In this lesson, we're going to talk about what is the IPv4. What is IPv4? Internet Protocol version 4 is the fourth version of the Internet Protocol and the first version to be widely deployed. Even today, 99% of the networks being deployed, they use IPv4. IPv4 is a frequently used communication protocol and is one of the core protocols for the Internet. IP resides on the network layer of the OSI model. IP addresses. Here's the IP addresses. Each computer, for example, on the network has to have a unique IP addresses just like the home address within the subdivision that you live in. For example, your house has a unique number. That's how your physical mails get delivered to your houses. The example is 12.5.24.2, 127.0.0.1, and the two given. In order for an IP address to function, there must be a properly configured IP addresses and compatible subnet mask. Static and dynamic addresses. Static IP addresses are addresses that are manually assigned to a host or other devices. Dynamic IP addresses are more common than IP addresses where they automatically obtain an IP addresses. Or in other words, the computer automatically obtains an IP addresses from your server or from other device. So let's say you're running 10 computers on the network, for example, and one server in a client server model. Every time your computer are on, the server would assign an IP address to your computer, and that's how you able to connect to the server and transfer information. Other important concept is default gateway and DNS server. For a device communication on the internet, a default gateway and DNS server must be assigned. For example, think of a default gateway as your main gate outside of your house. Right, so everything within your environment, you have 5 different rooms in your houses and you have a computer within this room. They are all connected together, but if someone needs to connect to the outside world or across the street or other city and town, for example, you need to have a use a default gateway and think of again as the main gate of your home. The default gateway is provided. Default gateway provides a default route for TCP/IP hosts to use when communicating with hosts on the remote networks. So, how you connect to the someone else outside within your environment? The first IP address of the device that a client computer will look for when attempting to gain access outside the local network. So, for the instant you're being browser the internet, you have to go to www.google.com. Well, that's the text, right? That not IP address. It's very difficult to remember IP address because there are so million computer network and hosts to use hosts within the end network. So the easiest way is to use a words or a names like the google.com, but the fact behind the scenes, they all have the IP addresses and DNS server. This is the classful network architecture. IPv4 classification system is known as a classful network architecture broken down into 5 sections. Class A, B, and C are commonly used, and Class A IP address, the first octet in the network portion. And that's the table that is given the class IP range default subnet mask IP network ID host, network possible, and users addresses. Loopback testing. The range for class A is 0 to 1 to 0 to 127. The range 127 network number is not used by hosts as a logical IP addresses. Instead, this network is used for loopback IP addresses for allowing for testing. And measure the IP addresses is 127.0.0.1, for example. This is known as the loopback test, just to make sure that your computer is connected whereas your IP addresses. So the range for class is the 127. The 127 network number is not used by the host as the logical IP addresses. Instead, this network is used for loopback addresses, allowing for testing. So the important thing to remember is the IP address of 127.0.0.1 is server for the loopback testing. And this is the demo for those IP addresses, so you can see the actual. Those are the active connected to the internet. There's some network there. And to see the IP and the subnet, right click properties and find the IPv4, the Internet Protocol version 4, the TCP IPv4, the version 4. Click the property and you will see the IP addresses 192.168.56.1 and the subnet mask 255.255.255. That is a static addresses. And the next that I'll show is the dynamic. Let's cancel that. Let's go to the Wi-Fi. There's a connection. Right click properties and let's go to the Internet Protocol version 4 properties, and you'll see there's no IP addresses because the server obtained the IP addresses of that. The server gives the IP addresses on my computer, and also the DNS server address is automatically obtained by my computer from the server. And that's all. Thank you, sir.